About 2 years ago, I got a kiss on the cheek from Bonnie Blue. I was in a club in Fort Lauderdale. It was my high school spring break. It was my junior year of high school, and I went down to Fort Lauderdale with some of my friends. And, I went drinking. It was my first time ever drinking. I drank some alcohol. Then I went to this club in Fort Lauderdale. And when I was in that club, Bonnie Blue, she came on this stage to the club, and, I got a photo with her, and she gave me a kiss on the cheek. And it is probably one of the most embarrassing, humiliating things that I could possibly say. But, at that time, I struggled with lust. I struggled with fapping, with watching porn. And it really affected my life at that time. And now, 2 years later, I'm a completely different man. And I want to make this video, for that younger version of myself. For that kid who's watching this video, who, maybe you're like 10 to 18 years old and you're struggling with lust and you've struggled for a while and it feels like you're trapped in this cycle that you just can't break out of. I want to make this video for you because it's what I needed when I was a young kid. And I know how hard lust is, man. It's so hard because the problem is lust is it's a biological thing, right? Lust is needed. It's a needed thing in biology, right? You need to reproduce. But what's happened is people have hijacked lust. They've used lust to, make money. That's why when you're on social media, all you see is lust. There's a reason why there's like soft porn everywhere and porn all over the place. It's because it hijacks your mind. Because your biology, it wants it. It's attracted to it. That's why you get stuck in this cycle to where you don't want to do it. You just don't want to do it, but you still do it. And that cycle will kill you, man. It makes you feel shameful. It makes you feel guilty. It makes you feel horrible about yourself. So you need to break out of that cycle. And, there's a few ways you break out of that cycle. The biggest one is just finding your purpose. With me, man, there's been two places in my life where I've been, lust-free. And one of them was for a full year straight. And in that year, I felt amazing, man. I felt so childlike. I felt pure. My mind was pure. I was able to build real, genuine relationships with girls. It was a beautiful period. And that was about sophomore year of high school. I went a year. And I remember the day I stopped. I remember in my mind, I don't know what happened. In my mind, I knew it was the last time I was going to do it. I knew it was the last time. And I think it was Lent. I think I said I was giving it up for Lent. And in my mind, I knew I was done. It was like this spiritual moment, this just flick. I knew I was done giving into lust. And I stopped for a year, and eventually, something happened. I gave back in. And yeah, man, just the reason why I was able to stop in that period is because I had this purpose. At that time, my purpose was the gym. I was so locked in with the gym. I was so locked in with my diet. All I cared about was the gym and growing with God. And that was my purpose. The second time is now. And now I'm pretty good with, gooning, like not gooning and doing that stuff. But, so still lust I struggle with here and there. And of course, I'm not perfect, man. I'm extremely flawed and I do mess up a lot. And sometimes it causes me to, feel shameful and guilty as well. Because, it's hard, man. But, I've really gotten better with it, too. And the reason why is because now I have this purpose. At first, my purpose was, I want to have successful businesses. I want to make money, drive cool cars. And now that I kind of have some of that stuff, to an extent, I have like a decent car, decent businesses. Now what I want to do is I want to just be a leader for young men. I have this almost like new fire inside. What I felt today was a spiritual change. It was, I just want to be this leader for men. I want my work to be so purposeful. Like I want to film so badly because I want to genuinely help people. And it was probably the most purpose, the most fire inside I've felt in a long time. And it's this beautiful feeling, man, because your purpose will help you to defeat temptation. Your purpose will help you to not give into temptation. So you need to find out what your purpose is. What is the thing that you just want to do? It gives you such a fire inside. Is it, helping other people on self-improvement? What is it? Find your purpose. And then the second thing is you need to not fight lust. You need to fight against the things that are feeding your lust. For example, it says in the Bible, don't fight lust, flee it. But what is happening here? People are using lust in tools to feed your lust, right? So they're using your phone. You scroll on social media, you see something. They're using these things to feed your lust. So don't fight the lust. Fight your phone. Don't give into this. Because one thing I realize is as a society, like some people are just becoming, I don't know how to word it, just like not warriors. They're not fighting anymore. I saw this video of this guy and he started freaking out because he didn't have his phone. He's like, I need my phone. Oh, my dopamine. And it's like, bro, you can either be like that guy and you're like, oh, I'm addicted to my phone, I'm going to surrender to my phone. Or you can say, no, I'm not going to surrender to my phone, I'm going to fight against my phone. Like what I do now is I wake up, I don't check my phone for the first 2 to 3 hours of the day. I just sit outside in the sun, meditate, do some breath work, sit in the sun, read the Bible, read a book. Or you can be one of those guys that, oh, well, I'm addicted to my phone, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to start scrolling. The thing that's happened is so many people are surrendering to life. They get a lustful urge and they just surrender to it. No, you have to not fight against it. You have to almost flow. Like flow through it. Don't make it this huge internal fight. When the urge comes, just flow through it. Just let it go. Don't give in. Don't fight it. Just let it go. Because, I mean, that's what you need to do to defeat lust, man. It's such a tricky category, you know. I hate it too because I sometimes fall into it, man. That's why it feels so horrible, because I'm probably one of the, you know, like biggest creators against this, and I hate it. With so much passion. I hate lust, but I still sometimes give in. And what that does is, it breaks me down. It gives me guilt, it gives me shame sometimes. But it's very rare nowadays, which I'm extremely grateful for, because I've truly have grown as a man. I've grown my relationship with God. I've grown my purpose, and I'm telling you, if you just focus on your relationship with God, if you just focus on your purpose, your entire life will change. And another thing is, stop focusing on how do I not give into lust. Focus on how do I improve my life. For example, if you're all day, you're thinking about how do I not goon, how do I not get with a girl, how do I not watch porn, and it's all you're thinking about, you're going to do it. But if you're all day is what you're thinking about is, okay, I need to go to the gym, I need to read a book, I need to work on my business, lust isn't going to have that time to take a place in your mind. So stop thinking about what shouldn't you do and start thinking about what you should do. I mean, that is some true advice which, changed my life. And another thing is your routines. For example, let's say you only give into lust at night, or let's say you only give into lust when you feel stressed. For me, it was stress. That's what really triggered it. Is it would be late at night, I would get super stressed, maybe caught in my head. Usually I would have this external crisis thinking about death, whatever it is, and I would give into it to comfort me, because what it does, it like shuts down your amygdala, so you feel no fear, you don't feel stressed. So it became a habit cycle. I got stressed, okay, I'm going to give into lust to calm myself. Instead, what I did is I made things to keep me present a habit. Every single morning I wake up and I go sit outside, no phone. I do a Wim Hof meditation. I do Wim Hof for like 20 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, and I just sit there and I'm just doing breath work to stay calm, to stay in the moment. I'll go to Lifetime and I'll dip myself in the cold plunge and I'll start shaking, because that calms your nervous system. You have to start implementing these things in your life. So now I'm less stressed. I know how to deal with stress. When an urge comes, I'll do breath work. Okay? Then, if it's late at night, let's say you give into lust late at night, early in the morning, whatever it is, gooning in the morning is crazy, but I mean, it's all relative. But if you're doing it late at night, what you need to do is have a night routine every single night. Let's say you're always in bed by 11. You always wake up at 7 a.m. You need to keep that routine. And what you do from 9 to 11, what are you doing? Are you showering? Are you reading books? Are you meditating? Or you're praying? You have to have this set routine, because that's how you genuinely stop giving into lust and you defeat your lust. You don't defeat it by fighting it. You defeat it by systemizing against it. You don't fight your lust. You fight the things feeding your lust. I'm telling you, that is the key to this, man. Because if you don't stop now, if you don't take action with your life, you're going to be stuck in lust forever, It's truly this burden it would be a burden to your soul. And that's why it's so hard, because lust is candy to the eyes. It's so weird, because after you get into lust, you feel so horrible, and you're like, how could I ever do this again? Then somehow the moment spurs up and you're like, oh wow, lust is like everything I've ever wanted. Once I do this, I'm going to feel amazing. It's like, what are we thinking, As people, it's ridiculous, man. But lust is candy to the eyes, but it is poison to the soul. So you need to start taking your life seriously. Focus on your purpose. Focus on changing your routines. Focus on changing your habits. Focus on growing with God. Focus on doing things, not doing things. Focus on these things, man. And once you actually focus on these things and dedicate your life to these things, I promise you the lust will go away. So, I want to say, I promise, kid, you're going to be okay. You're going to defeat lust. You're not going to defeat lust, because lust is always there, but you're going to escape the hands lust, the pull lust has on you. I promise, kid, and you're going to be okay, man. And just keep growing with God. Keep growing towards your purpose. And I hope this video helped you. If it did, comment. Thank you. Subscribe. Love y'all.